comes when I go.
Fuck you. I come again, baby. On the time, we gon' go down.
Hey,
Along the line, I saw that this fine girl want to lap with that guy.
temptation.
And today, the fastest route to my place.
Chapa.
I remember how bumping to my husband.
No.
Even in Camo.
Camo.
Talk about all the.
Hey.
I can't remember all the story because if I put the boy, that is the give back with the all over.
Hey, hi, sorry. Hi, Kipino, sorry.
Well, I'll be back now. Well, I have to attend to some issues right now, so yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the voice of FX Adventure, and I want to say a wonderful afternoon to each and every one of you that is joining me. All right, if you're joining me and we are sharing the same time zone, I'll say good afternoon to you. But if you're joining me from maybe somewhere else around the world, I'll say good day to you, and I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon and a wonderful Wednesday wherever you're joining me from. All right, it's about that time. This is the afternoon section, the New York section, right here on FX Adventure. All right, so we had this session earlier today, and for the guys that joined the morning section, they pretty much know or they pretty much know the drawings you see here, because all the drawings here we basically had them in the morning section. And if you guys remember, we attempted to go for a buy trade earlier today. If you are trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, you can go watch the last live streaming video you see right there on the channel. All right, so basically we had a call on Canadian dollar USD for a buy. We also had a call on Euro USD for a sell, and price was at some point was okay, but when we saw this rejection that came in right about in the morning section, which is this guy here, that guy that my arrow is currently pointing at, that was around 8 o'clock. If you guys remember, for the guys that joined the morning section, around that time we saw that rejection, and I made a call. I said, for the fact that DXY is rejecting on that level, there is high chances that that move will either be a reversal or wouldn't play the way we wanted it to, right? This is how many hours after 8 o'clock. You can see that basically DXY has not really done any significant price movement. Price have literally been trading sideways, and I think the call we made that morning was right for us to close the entries we had at that time. All right, so ideally, I know I made a promise to you guys that we would only come live when we have a setup that we want to go with, but I decided to do something a little bit off from it. Although our bias is still on a buy, at least based on what price is currently doing. And when I mean a buy, I'm talking of a buy on DXY. And for the guys that have been joining this live streaming, they know for sure how we use DXY in correlation to other currency pairs. All right, and that's that about that. If you don't know about it, feel free to ask questions and I will explain to you guys. All right, but before we head into the chat, I would want to say welcome to everyone that is joining, and if you're joining, I would like us to make it possible that we get enough likes on this video. So if you're joining, I know it's your like, but we urge and plead that you like the video, subscribe if you've not subscribed, and turn on the notification if you've not. All right, so I think that's all I need. That's all about the announcement. Now we'll get right into the chat. Well, it's not like we're going to do anything extra, on it. We've already had our drawings out, okay? and we have news coming up around 1:30, and I think I'm supposed to expand for today, at least on DXY. And why I'm saying this on, oh my god, my network, why I'm saying this on DXY, I hope my network did not cut you guys off. Okay, I think the network connected back real quick. I also want to apologize before we go forward that my network can be shitty sometimes, so bear with me if you guys get disconnected, all right? But I believe after the disconnection, I always spin off the live streaming again, so I want to tender that apology in case if you are experiencing network, or maybe the video is lagging on your side, or worst case scenario if the live streaming get cut off. Just know for sure that it's my network, and I'm really working on finding a permanent solution to that. But for now, I would want you to bear with me, and yeah, that's basically it. So let's just get back to the chat. All right, so we are still on a bullish bias for DXY. We've already made mention about news. We've already made mention about the market conditions and what we are expecting. Also, if you look at the chart right there, you would see a couple of write-up I have there. You see the write-up I have around there, and etc, etc. All right. So that's that for DXY. All right. So the point here is that if we can get price to trade above that level there, then we'll be anticipating for. We expect that price has really given us some level of confirmation for a buy, and based on the market correlation and the price correlation with the major pairs, we'll be looking for a short on the major pairs. So the summary of everything is, if DXY is buying, we know that we will sell the major pairs. What do I mean by the major pairs? The major pairs are in the likes of Euro USD, British Pound USD, Aussie Dollar USD, New Zealand Dollar USD, basically any major currency pair that is paired against USD would most likely experience some level of downtrend. It is not always the case, because there are some situations whereby that's not the case. But one thing you would always understand about price, or it's not even about price as a whole, about relativity, is that in a situation whereby DXY is going up, there are major pairs that might prove stubborn. All right, and what do I mean by stubborn? So maybe relatively, the currency is relatively a bit strong. So in a situation whereby that's the case, we might experience where price is really strong, and regardless of DXY trading up, the measure pairs will also go the same direction with DXY. But it rarely happens. All right, it rarely happens. So that's why I'm saying it rarely happens. So that's why I'm saying that. All right, but generally the currency correlation is always for a fact that when DXY is either going up, the measure pairs are going down. If DXY is going down, the measure pairs are going up. All right, so this is on DXY. This is what we have on DXY. Nothing extra, nothing has changed on this. All right, the only thing we are waiting for, or we are hoping for, is for price to trade above that level right there. You see that level right there where I have that close above here for main confirmation. That's the level we want price to trade above. We need them to trade above it, and not only trade above it, stay above it. All right, you have to trade above and stay above. We had an attempt here around that 8 o'clock, if you remember, but that was rejected, and that was what made us to close the entry we had in the morning section. But we are still of the same bias in the afternoon section, so let's see what price is going to do once we see price breaking above that level. Another thing I want to point out is there is also still high chances that this news can go either ways. All right, this news can go either ways, but we are not I'm not a wizard, or neither do I have witches around here to tell me what is going to happen, right? So but the point is that it's always good to kind of understand what price is doing so that you can align yourself properly on the higher probability entries. All right, the higher probable entries. Now you can see DXY is coming up. It seems like they are hearing me. Just now I'm saying it, they are coming up. All right, that's good, that's fine. But we are not going to be excited about anything. Our price is yet to break out the level we want, and until that level is broken and price closes above it, I know why I'm emphasizing on price needing to close above it. Price needs to close above it. All right, that's the only time we would say that DXY has DXY has finally given us a clear confirmation. I will not say a 100% confirmation, but a clear confirmation. And we have enough story to build up, our entries and our exits, plan on. All right, that's on DXY. You already know it. Once you have an understanding of what DXY is doing, you've basically had an understanding of what the major pairs are doing. So now we know that we expect DXY to give us some bullish bias or bullish entry. Then it means on other major pairs we should be looking for sell. All right, but another thing I want to point out is that I want to also point out that there is some shady things going on this DXY price. All right, so what do I mean by shady? What I mean by shady is I'm seeing how the Q1 and the Q2 of the day is looking like, and it's pretty much more or less a ranging market. So there is this bias in me that this market is still ranging, and there is high chances that it can go either ways, or maybe the manipulation we expect from DXY is yet to come in because of the fact that the price has been ranging all through since morning. But that's by the way, we'll keep that aside. It's good for us to note that. All right, we'll keep that aside, we'll take note of that, we'll keep it aside. But the main story still remains the fact that we want to buy. And why do I insist on buying on DXY? Is because of where price is currently trading. Price is trading above the 100 EMA. Price is giving us some nice accumulation, or as the case may be, you can call it a sideways movement. Price initially manipulated down, then swipe up, swipe down again. Now it's going back up. So let's see if they are going to break that up. We don't want them to swipe it, they need to break it. And what do I mean? Break it means price needs to trade above it and close above it. If you want to see this particular chart you're looking at here, this is on the 15-minute time frame. So if you're joining my live stream, you know that I spend 95% of my time looking at the chart. I spend it on the 15-minute time frame. That's the time frame I mainly use in looking at price. All right, this is for DXY. We'll touch base on euro. Euro is just the opposite. As you can see, euro is just doing what we expect it to do, which is currently selling. All right, I'll just put this horizontal ray here. That's the level I want euro to break. Then we can look for a sell immediately around that. All right, then on the other side we have British pound, still similar price action, similar price depiction, nothing extra, nothing far-fetched. Like I told you, if you have an understanding of what DXY is doing, you pretty much have an understanding of what all these major pairs are expected to do. As you can see, all of them are either aligning themselves properly for that sell, or giving that accumulation that would signify that sell pressure coming in. But we are not going to trade everything. We'll only pick out the currency pairs that we feel like is more in tune to what we want price, or what we want from price. Okay, okay, the broken. I will have a look at gold for sure. I will have a look at gold for sure. The broken. Welcome on board. We would have a look at gold for sure. All right. I have gold in my watch list. I also want to apologize if I'm not seeing your chats in real time, because I'm actually going through two screens. Okay. The broken. If you are still there, yeah, sit tight. Would look at gold eventually. All right, we'll look at gold eventually at the end of the day. So let's head back to the chart. Okay, so this is for Aussie dollar USD. Same thing, nothing far-fetched. We don't need to spend much time there because we've already had an understanding of what DXY is doing. And if you are wondering why we are not spending much time looking at these guys, I think I've made mention of the major pairs. So when you hear me say major pairs, the major pairs I'm basically talking about are EU, GU, AU, NU, and which other one? I think those are like four of them. There are other ones, but those are the four that I mainly look at. All right. Uh-huh. So let's touch base on USD Canadian dollar. USD Canadian dollars, the same thing. Remember, we initially had a buy bias here, and our still buy bias is still in place. Remember, in the morning section, I dropped this and I said high probability that this will be the low of the day. If you guys remember, for the guys that joined the morning section, you see price is yet to take out that level, and I'm still maintaining the fact that if the buy pressure comes in, that level will be the low for today. All right, so that means even if we're going to enter this trade, our stop loss will most likely will be around there. I want you to pay attention to what Canadian dollar is about to do. Canadian dollar USD is about to break away from that top that we are noting there, so we need to pay close attention to that and see what price is going to do once it reaches that level. We still have like about 9 minutes or so to go before news, so we'll keep note of that. Okay, on gold, and I hope the broken is still currently joining. If you're joining, I hope you're hearing me. If you're hearing me, let me know in the chat so that I know that you're actually there. But yeah, even if you're not there, I'll still give my opinion and my take on that particular pair right there. All right, so for gold, basically what I envision on XAU UXD, you see price is currently trading above. All right, we've had a very a nice accumulation, very tiny accumulation that occurred here. Okay, very small accumulation that occurred there, but largely um, gold is looking like something that wants to sell, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, I'm seeing some level of resistance coming into play there. So what do I mean? At the point DXY was trading up around in the morning, you can see that gold hardly moved down. You see? All right, gold hardly moved down. There is some correlation between the DXY and gold also, but not entirely. When you compare it with maybe the likes of Euro USD, it's not quite similar. All right, but there are still some correlations between it. So on the relative strength part of things, all right, I would largely say that gold is looking strong, like it really wants to buy some more. But in a market condition where dollar is really booming, dollar is really gaining more strength, we would most likely see gold either sell off, or at least if it's very strong, we would experience a lot of resistance. All right, but one thing I'm sure of is it's not going to buy like it's going to buy. I don't know if you get what I mean. So if dollar is going up, gold will most likely struggle. All right, that's just what let me just put it that way, the way you understand it, right? If DXY is going to pump with much speed and volume and velocity, there is high chances that gold will find it difficult to keep pace with that. Gold will hardly trade up if that's the case. All right, but if DXY decides to go down now, trust me, gold will be flying. All right, gold will be flying because you can already see that there are some relative strength in comparison to what DXY is doing on gold, and gold has been holding that level for a very long time. Another thing that I can see on gold is it's currently trading above the 100 EMA, which means it's in a bullish territory. All right, it means that the market is more bullish than bearish. All right, But with that said, it's also important for us to understand also that DXY is also in that same level. You see that DXY is also on that same level above the 100 EMA. So it's a battle of who has more relative strength to hold on to its trend. All right. But one thing I know for sure is both of them will not do the same thing. They might do the same thing, you feel me? But one will perform much better than the other. All right. And for me, based on my own little experience, I will tilt towards a gold sell if DXY is pumping. All right, that is if DXY is actually going up. That's the only condition that I have for gold to do anything at all. All right, so for me, my bias is still that gold is looking for maybe a sell based on the structure I'm seeing here, but at the same time, it's also important that we should also take note that gold has shown some level of strength based on the bullish part of things. And I pointed out that we see that accumulation there. This market here should have been a sell, but you see that gold held it very strong and it keep on holding it. All right, but we'll see what's going to happen. For now, no decision for me, no decision on what we want to do on gold. We need market to unfold further for us to determine what we want to do there, and that's my opinion on gold. All right, here is on USD JPY, ranging since morning, looking more bearish than bullish. All right, but at the same time, the correlation between USD JPY and DXY is of the positive side. It means if DXY is going up, we expect USD JPY to go up. If DXY is going down, we expect USD JPY to go down. All right, so for me, nothing is happening right here. The market has been ranging since morning. You can see it's a sideways movement, nothing extra, nothing exciting is going on there. Let's touch base. We have like 3 minutes remaining before news. Let's touch base on Aussie dollar, Swiss francs. Nothing much is happening there. I don't expect to do anything currently on this particular price, so I'll leave it alone on that guy. Yeah, let's look at UX oil. UX oil, okay, what happened here? We had price come back down here. It got rejected because you see they did not close below, and after that rejection you can see price went up again to swipe that up. We'll see what's going to happen at the end of the day. Like I told you guys, you see, it seems like all the currency pair we've been looking at has been ranging since morning. So what does that tell you? It means that this news is what they are waiting for. Price is waiting to use this 130 news to expand. So maybe after the news, depending on what price is going to look like, that's when we are going to engage. So we would allow news to play, then we'll see what's going to happen. I know, you feel me? If you want to take a risk, right, you don't want to wait for the news. Maybe you feel like you want to jump on it before the news, which I don't recommend. What I would advise you to do on UX oil is to go for a sell. All right, but I don't recommend that. Okay, but I will advise you to go for a sell if you really want to take that risk. We have less than 2 minutes to go before news. Let's touch based on S&P 500. S&P 500, similar storyline for me is I should be anticipating a sell, but price is currently trading above the 100 EMA, which means price is more bullish than what it looks like. So I'm leaving that guy out for now. We have the last thing on our watch list, which is on BTC USD. Of course, price on BTC is trading above the 100 EMA. I don't recommend you to be shorting BTC when it's in a bullish position because you would be wrecked. It moves fast, so there's no need to go there. All right, so let's pick a summary of what we've looked at so far. All right, so based on what we've seen so far and based on all the items we've went through in our watch list, we are still picking the two guys we picked in the morning, which is Euro USD. We anticipate a sell for Euro USD, okay, but the confirmation is yet to come in. We are yet to get the confirmation, and news is around the corner. So like I said, there is high chances that they want to use this news to decide on where they want to go. So we will only engage after the news. But if you want to engage before the news, go for a sell on Euro USD. Of course, your stop loss will be the last swing high you see there. If you want to go for a price, an entry before the news on Canadian dollar is going to be a buy, but I don't recommend you to do that. So let's wait for the news and see what's going to happen. All right. We'll look at Euro USD for the news. All right. So the news will be coming up in 5 seconds or so. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. What direction are we going, guys? News, come on. Okay, it's a buy. All right. Price went up. Okay, so that means I think maybe news has given us the direction, but we need to wait. No need to rush. We need to wait for the news to completely play. There is high chances that this might be price stopping people out. Maybe after stopping people out, they will reverse this market back down again. Well, we'll see what's going to happen around that. But one thing I can see for sure is that price kind of is giving us is going to give us the direction after this news, just like we made mention of, right? Let's see what DXY looks like. Okay, DXY plunged down. Obviously, it's going to be a plunge down, which is why we are seeing some green coming in on Euro USD. All right. Okay, so that means from what I understand now, that means this USD JPY is looking more interesting now for us. All right, so this guy looks more interesting for us now to take. All right, so what do we have here? These are possible entries we can get on this particular guy here on USD JPY. That is after the news. All right, this candle needs to completely print. We are not engaging now. Okay, so we need to wait for this candle to completely print because we still have like 13 minutes to go. Remember, I told you guys this is the 15-minute time frame. This is the 15-minute time frame. All right, so patience is the key. It's good that the news came in. It's good the news came in. We can see some level of volume being injected, in the market. From there we can, get our directions and what we want to do. So we have to wait for maybe around 1:45 for the guys that are currently in West Africa time zone. All right, WAT. But if you are maybe joining from other part of the world, you can do the time conversion yourself. But from the news I'm seeing here, so far price swiped up, but I need to draw out more levels right now because I need to see what level did price break at the end of the day. So I'm just going to go through this and mark out the opposite sides of my drawings. Okay, I'm going to remove this guy. We don't need that guy anymore. All right, we'll draw out this guy here just for us to have an idea where price is, whether we have a very clean breakout or is it a fake out. So yeah, we need to also take consideration of all of that. All right, so you see how important it is for you to take your time. Always take your time. All right, we took our time. That's why we took our time. We waited for the news. Imagine you entered before the news. By now you'll be crying. All right, because of course it went against our speculation, right? But like I said, price is still trading. There is high chances that they might use this guy as a what do you call it, to stop people out. Then eventually they might sell off all that candle and continue going down. It's still possible. It's still very, very possible, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, patience is always the key. It's always good for you to take your time. And yeah, see, that's the Canadian dollar right there. still trading in that range. Nothing has really happened. Even after the news, you can see price is yet to take out that low, neither has price taking out that high, and those are the important levels that we are paying attention to. All right, like I told you, you see gold did not do much. You see what do you call it, DXY plunged down. We had a very tiny spike on gold, nothing extra, nothing extra happened there. All right, but that's not our cup of tea. The only thing we are here for is to do what, is to mark out the important levels we have there. We'll just mark it out and we'll move on. There's no need to waste time on that particular guy. All right, we'll go over to USD JPY. Okay, we'll throw out those levels also. All right, and draw out those levels also. We'll just draw them out real quick here on Aussie dollar Swiss francs. Like you see, it's going up, still trading above the 100 EMA, which is quite understandable, right? But at the same time, it would have been an interesting sell, but I think this guy is far from what we are expecting, so we'll leave this guy alone. Our expectation here, US oil did not do much even after the news. All right, let's draw out our level and see what we can get out of this. Okay, price is still trading in that range. We need price to break out of that range, then we will engage. All right, on UX 500, of course, a complete buy going on there. I think it's a buy for S&P 500. I have an alert here. I don't need this guy anymore. This guy goes away. All right, okay, we'll put this draw in here. Why are you still here? You should be gone by now. All right, the alert doesn't want to go. I don't know why, but we'll leave that alone. On BTC, of course, it's a buy. I told you, you can't be selling on BTC when it's trading above the 100 EMA. You can see more buys are coming in, of course, on BTC. I really feel bad about BTC. There was a buy entry I had on BTC earlier, was it last week? But BTC, just like every other price, just came close to my stop loss. Immediately after stopping me out with a week, price went back above, and that was the last price I saw on BTC till date. Right, but that's by the way, that's obviously by the way. So we've been able to draw out some important levels. We have 7 minutes remaining for the current candle on the 15 minute that is printing to completely print. See what I told you guys? I told you that up movement might be a strategy for them to stop people out, and I think they have really done that work. You see now, in as much as we had that long push, you see the sell off is coming back into play. The sell off is coming back into play. All right, but nothing to be excited about. We still have 6 whole minutes to wait, so we'll wait patiently and until we see a breakout. If price keeps on trading in between these lines here, we will not make any decision. All right, we will just sit back and watch until we see a breakout. That's the only time we will engage. Same thing with every other guys we have here. This guy is still trading in inside that range. This guy, okay, this guy is trading currently above. All right, but I'm not interested. All right, why am I not interested? Remember, our focus is what? DXY. We only focus on what DXY is doing. And remember, I told you, if DXY is going to buy, trust me, all these moves you see here will eventually turn to a sell. All these big moves you see here will eventually result to a sell. That's why our focus is on this guy, this DXY, because DXY is the author and finisher of most major pairs. All right, It's not like DXY is determining what they do. Rather, DXY is showing you the correlative movements between both Euro USD, British Pound USD, any major pair that is paired against dollar. DXY is showing you like everything together in one chart. All right, so that's why I'm saying we'll pay more attention to what DXY is doing based on this current price action. So, but generally, I think if I'm judging with this whole rejection that came in here, remember the news came in and pulled price all the way down here, but you can see gradually price they bought it back up. So even if you go for a buy on DXY, which will result to a buy on Canadian dollar USD, okay, let me see what Canadian dollar USD is doing, because it might look here. You see, it's a very good buy setup. It's looking like a very good buy setup there. I don't want to be tempted to FOMO inside of it, but I think it's a very good rejection there, and I think the follow-up is going to be as interesting as that. Let me see what's going to happen if I should enter a buy here. I'll be risking about how many dollars? I'll be risking about $1.36. I think I can take that risk. It's just $1, right? I'm going for a buy there. I'm going for a buy on Canadian dollar USD. I entered a little bit early on that, but yeah, I'm going for a buy there. My stop loss is at that low there. If you want to go join that with me, this is not financial advice. The risk is on you. But I entered a little bit early here, so that's why I used a smaller amount, as you can see it right there, just $1.44. Okay, that's that for USD Canadian dollar. Although I would say that, wait, I only entered this because I just feel like I entered early, but my main entry is actually when it breaks above here, then we will now wait for the pullback here. That's where we enter the main entry. But now I just entered that because of the whole rejection I'm seeing here, and also the rejection I'm seeing on DXY. Although the DXY rejection is not as fantastic as what I'm seeing on Canadian dollar USD. All right, but it's still fair enough. So that's why I said don't jump on it yet. I'm only doing this for, I don't know. It's very silly. I shouldn't have done that, but it's just $1.44. So that's why I did it. It's because it's a small amount, right? If you want to enter that with me, to whom it may concern. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just coming back to my chat now, so I'm seeing. Okay, what's the stop loss? That's from YBF. Okay, YBF, I'll get you the stop loss. Okay, the stop loss, like I said, is that last low there. All right. Just to get you the exact price for that, you will look at this. This is for CAD UXD stop loss. That's it there in the chat section. Okay, that's it there for the chat in the chat section. I'm also going to paste the Discord link there in the chat section, to whom it may concern. All right, to whom it may concern. Let me put it there also. All right, so let's get back to the chat again. All right, let's get back to the chat. I hope this is a win, but like I said, don't jump on it because the confirmation is not yet in. I only entered that because I can. All right, I only entered that because I can. All right, but that's a very bullish rejection there. Very bullish move coming in there. Very bullish move coming in there. And already, like I told you guys, remember I told you we wanted a buy, right? We wanted a buy, and price is like it's about giving us the buy, so why wait? But I did it with a very small amount. You saw that 1.44. I think it's fair. If they take 1.44 from me, it's fine. It's fine. I can take that loss. All right, but let's leave that aside. Let's focus on our main entry right now. Okay, so our main entry is what we are waiting for right now. You can go for a sell on Euro USD just like what we did already on Canadian dollar USD because of the rejection that is coming in. But for me, I'll wait for that confirmation. I'll wait for the confirmation before I engage further. All right, until I get the confirmation, that's where I intend to open my main entry. All right, so my main entry, of course you see my risk. I'll be risking $5, $6, $8, sometimes $10, depending. All right, my capital is not much, so don't expect me to say I'll be risking $100. I don't have $100 to risk, right? Okay, but yeah, that's by the way. We'll still get there. When we get there, we'll start risking those amounts. But my portfolio cannot. It's not even up to that amount for me to risk it, right? So that's that of that. Price, even with the news and everything, price is still trading in that range. So maybe today is a sideways movement day. I don't know, but I think based on what the news did and what price is looking like, I'm still expectant of the expectation that Euro USD will still sell. I'm still of the expectation that the major pairs will still sell. All right, I'm still of that expectation, and my bias has not yet changed. The only thing I'm waiting for now is just the confirmation. I need them to break out of that low there. I need price to break down and close below that low horizontal ray we have there. Close below it, then we'll enter. All right, most probable entry will look something like this. All right, that is if price eventually comes down there. Maybe we can keep our stop loss here or here. All right, but if you keep it here, that means you are taking a lot of stop loss. So for me, I'll move it somewhere here. All right, that is if we get the confirmation we are looking for. Then we'll not be aiming for our 2 to 1, of course, somewhere there. All right, but mind you, whenever I enter this kind of price, if I get 1 to 1, 1 to 1 is a good profit target. Trust me. I know this might be a little bit off from our initial. For the guys that have been joining my live stream, I like aiming for 2 to 1. All right, but I figured out based on my back testing and some of the price actions that I've seen that if price gives you 1 to 1, you can start building up, or you can start exiting the market gradually from that level. You might not necessarily take it out on 1 to 1, but yeah, you can use that. You can integrate that into your strategy. What do I mean? So how I integrated mine is that if price moves, so if I enter a position, right, and price moves 1 to 1, all right, based on the risk to reward ratio, two things are involved. It's either I close the entry at that point and take all profit, or I will now move my stop loss to break even once price reaches 1 to 1. All right, so if I move the stop loss to break even, then I will now leave it alone for price to now go for the full TP. All right, so we can see some red candle coming into the picture there, which is what we want. All right, we need them to come really into it and give us a very good entry for us to see if we can get some sweet juicy juice in this afternoon section, right? So this is it. We just have to spend a little bit more time here, okay? But you can see that so far all our speculations and the story we've been telling, price has been aligning itself to that. That's a good news. All right, nothing to be excited about yet, but I think it's a good news, right? For the fact that price has been been obeying all the speculation we've been saying here. Price has been doing that, so I think it's a good thing. All right, it's a good thing. All right, so while we wait, I would like to get feedbacks, any questions, any currency pair you want me to look at. Use the chat section to let me know. If you're joining, make sure you like the video. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Let's see if today is going to be a green day. All right, let's have a look on what our position is doing on Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar is full of shit. It's full of shit. All right, but I think it's still going to buy at the end of the day. But yeah, what I mean by it's full of shit is that the market condition that we saw before we entered this trade, if you compare it now, and I think DXY is looking more stronger than it. See, DXY is now looking more stronger than it. But initially, before now, Canadian dollar was looking like it was strong. But now DXY looks like it's now stronger. But that's by the way, all right? So we'll still wait and see what price is going to do. Nothing to be excited about. Price is still trading in a range, and we have nothing else to do but to wait. All right, so we just have to wait. And while we're waiting, I think the best thing I can do for you guys right about now, let's add some important alerts in some important places so that we would get notified if price starts to break out from an important level. Okay, so there are two currencies that we are looking at. We're looking at Euro USD, so I'm going to add an alert at that low here. So once price starts to get to that price level, I will be notified. So that's number one. For DXY, I will leave this alert also on DXY, so if price starts to break out from that top, we will be notified also. I think those are the two main places I want my alert to be at right now. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. You see what I told you about gold. Gold is now finally selling off because of what DXY seems like it's picking up momentum, and gold is selling off. I don't know if the broken is still joining live. One thing about this is people don't get the patience to wait. If this thing you're stressing yourself, you're not feeling fine. You're stressing yourself. Sorry, I was talking to my younger brother. He's not feeling fine and he's working. I don't understand. Drop that thing and go. If the thing start again, I will not listen to you. Sorry, guys. I was talking to my younger brother. He's not feeling fine and already he's working. He's fetching water. Somebody that is not feeling fine wants to put me into trouble. All right, but he's getting better. It shows it's a sign that he's getting better. But yeah, I still want him to rest some more. He shouldn't stress himself until he fully recovers. All right, so let's get back to the charts. So we are talking about you see gold. I don't know if this guy is still here. The broken, if you are still there, that's your analysis there. Gold, like I said, is giving up, is selling off. Of course, it's very obvious why it's selling off is because DXY is getting stronger. It's as simple as that. I keep on saying it. You see, DXY is getting stronger. It's getting stronger. It's getting stronger. It's getting stronger. All right. So I think the sell on euro is looking more matured right now. All right. It's looking more matured right now. So we can prep ourselves for a euro move if DXY is showing us, or more DXY is really interested in breaking that level. There's no need to rush. Right now, I'm tempted to rush and start opening more orders, but I will take my time. I'll wait for it. It will break that top, close above it, just like we made mention from the beginning of the video. Everything we said in that beginning of the video, we have to wait for it. Everything needs to happen before we make a decision on this particular market we are looking at. But I like the fact that price has been trying to obey everything we've pretty much has pointed out from the beginning of this video. All right, remember these guys. Euro US British pound is flying right down right now. I want to touch base on Aussie dollar. Do you remember this oscillator that was pumping? I told you if DXY starts to go down, all that pump will be of no use, because right now you can see all the major pairs are taking in some green big red candles coming in and out around them. All right, nothing to be excited about. Nothing to be excited about. We still have to wait. Price needs to give us the confirmation yet. We are yet to get the confirmation. Until we get the confirmation, we will now open a lot more interesting, entries on, the pairs we want to trade on. We'll also keep an eye on US oil. It's kind of doing something that is quite interesting, and I like the general market formation also. But I think I'm more focused on Euro USD and Canadian dollar USD. Japanese yen USD also looking like it's going to be a buy now. Remember, I told you that USD JPY correlates with DXY positively. All right, positively is they move in the same direction. So if DXY is going up, USD JPY is expected to go up. So that's why I said they are moving in a positive correlation. But for the major pairs against DXY, they are moving in negative correlation. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. I think some level of rejection is coming into play there. I don't know, but I think our focus should be on DXY. So we'll just keep DXY here, because like I told you guys, if you have an understanding of what DXY is doing, you've pretty much have analyzed 70% of the major pairs. 70% of the major pairs, you've pretty much analyzed them, and you pretty much know what they are, expected to do. So we have like 3 minutes remaining for this candle to completely close, and we are experiencing some rejection coming in there. So that means price is still trading in that range. I didn't expect DXY to sell off like this. I expected them to keep on going up. All right, I expect them to keep on going up. All right, trade above there. The pullback that will come back into this zone, that's where we'll now start entering our position to take the price further up. So that's the plan for DXY, and of course, the opposite is that of the major pairs. So that means on Euro USD, you'll be looking for a sell. We have 2 minutes remaining. Let's see what's going to happen. But our focus will be on DXY. So we'll leave DXY here and we'll just look at it. While we wait, what I'm going to do is I'm going to. It's very sad that most times I don't have much people joining. Maybe I feel sad sometimes. You feel me? But who cares? Who cares? So the main reason why I do this live stream, like I said, my community and the whole purpose of FX Adventure, and the purpose of FX Adventure is to educate, is to build a community of like minds, and so far so good. I've had a few consistent people. Just to mention a few, I know I'm not going to mention everybody that I have, but I have a few interesting people in my Discord channel, and they've been consistent, and they've been the ones that motivates me to do this live streaming, if I'm being honest, because I for one can do it with I can trade this market without coming to do live streaming, right? I can stay in the comfort of my home, which I think is even more convenient for me, because it means that I'll take more trades for myself. I don't have to prove anything or be over analytical. All right, and I can make some quick decisions. All right, but whenever I come to live streaming, I know I'm not the only one doing it, and there are other people that are actually watching me to see how I do it, and they want to learn. So I wouldn't want to start passing information that is not in line and giving off a I'm trying to find a better word now, a wrong idea about trading, or deceiving people, right? So the point I'm just trying to make is that, yeah, I feel bad sometimes when I come to the live stream, and maybe um, there are times I'm the only one. I'm even happy now. I think before now, there are times I will come to live stream and I'll be the only one here. I will just talk to myself. At the end of the day, I'll close the live stream. But now I have a couple of people, and I really appreciate each and everyone that is making it possible to be here. And I pray and I wish that all of our endeavors and the efforts we put in to come around here will yield results. All right, because that's the aim. All right, we are not here to waste time or anything. We are here to learn, and we are here to get results, right? So I hope you guys are getting results, and it might not be in the financial part, but at least the knowledge sharing. And yeah, I know I do say some things here, and for the guys that want to learn, I believe they have one or two things to pick out. All right. And I will always say it, and I'm not coming from any standpoint of trying to form proud or being proud or anything, but some of the information I give here, and I'm not patronizing anybody. I'm not going to get anything from anybody, right? So the information I give here, I paid for it, and I keep on saying it, like I paid to learn it, right? Some I did not pay. I'm not gonna lie, all right. And to be honest, most of the majority of the things that I even use to trade today, I didn't pay. But when you hear me talk of currency correlations, you feel me? I paid to get that information, right? Yeah, I paid. And when I mean pay, it might to some people it might be small money, because I know I have a lot of rich folks in my circle. I don't want to call their names before you people start to look for them to kidnap. All right, but yeah, I have some rich folks, so I know the money might not be a problem to you guys. But the point I'm just trying to say is that if you get some information here, you should try and cherish it. Trust me, just try and cherish it, because like I said, I paid for some of the information as I give here. All right, currency correlations, I paid for it. I didn't know about anything about currency correlation, not until when I paid for there was this community I joined. It was very helpful, I'm not gonna lie. In my early stages, it was very helpful. They introduced me to a lot of articles. Yeah, I read a lot of PDFs and articles and all of that. So that was where I got to know about currency correlation, fundamental analysis, um, yeah, just to mention a few. You feel me? But that currency correlation, just by joining my live stream, I think if you've been joining my live stream, you know about currency correlation. You even know the pairs that correlate negatively, you know the pairs that correlate positively. And I'm not telling you BS, I'm not selling you dreams. I'm telling you something that you can go to your chat and you verify it. If you go to the chat, you verify it. It's there looking at you, right? So yeah, the point I'm just trying to make is just cherish the little things. You feel like it's not worth it, but it's actually worth it, right? It's actually worth it. All right. So yeah, that's it. I think I'm tempted to close the live stream and continue offline. All right, but I'm already here. So I might as well just be here. But whenever I come to the YouTube live stream, I think I have about one or two people that is currently joining me live. So yeah, so for the sake of the two people, I'll be here, or for the sake of the one person, I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere. All right, so let's see how this is going to play out. We are experiencing some resistance here. Okay, there's a very small gap there. You see, that's the guy that's been, disturbing price. Price doesn't want to go above it. He's been holding us ransom there. This small gap there, just a very small gap there that is holding us ransom. But I believe once we break that, little or no time would be expecting price to be above there, and once price is above there, a pullback into that zone, of course, is our entry, and that's it. All right, and that's it. All right, so that's it. I don't know. Let's just wait for a while. We'll wait for a while and see if we can get any sweet move. But right now, I don't know. I don't see any move coming in. Price is still ranging, and I know I made a promise to myself. I said I don't want my live streaming to be that long, so that people that didn't join live can go back and watch it again. But it seems like this one is taking a long time at the end of the day, which is okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine. So DXY not doing much. Price have reverted back to sideways move again. It has reverted back to a sideways move again. So at this junction, I don't know. We just have to wait for a little bit longer than expected. We just have to wait a little bit longer than expected. I'm just going through all the watch lists to see. Well, you can see nothing exciting is happening right now in price. Nothing exciting. The only thing that will make this our stay here exciting is for DXY to break above, not break below, break above. You see excitement will start coming into the market. So what do I mean by excitement? Price will start moving. Price will start expanding. You feel me? So price will start moving. Price will start expanding. So that's what we are waiting for. And let's see if it's going to come. If it comes, that would be fantastic. If it doesn't, well, we can't do anything about that, right? We can't. So in the meantime, enjoy the music playing in the background. I'm still here. Let me just ease myself. I'll be back in a minute.
You want to drive it, you can calm down.
Hey,
That was what I was thinking when I saw this dance yesterday.
Okay.
Well, as soon as she found, I had to walk up and introduce myself. Well, she sounded so interested.
well,
When I asked for her number, she gave me. Well, she was, giving me the green light. Well, all these things happen for my head. Okay.
okay, Lord.
Well, I don't know, say you want to drive it because all that.
Hey, no.
Baby, I don't know, say you want to drive it because to motor down. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Well, the one day to go when I called the number, well, she was like, yeah, I was waiting for your call, why, why you delayed to call me? Well, so,
Shakara. Shakara.
I had to go and try to present myself cool.
Yes.
Try to make the girl feel cool. I can remember when I tried to play like the guy get money for pocket. I can remember saying I don't get shit.
No.
All I had was my pretty fine face.
Oh.
Well, all the good girl I do well.
Hey.
Well, they treat on the good. I say again, baby. No, see, you want to drive me, we can pull down.
Hey, no. Hey, oh.
Baby. I don't know, see, you want to drive the bus, we can come around.
Asa.
Okay. I pulled them on the other side. Baby, slow down. That's the hang boy. That's the dude you were looking for.
Oh.
Well, I presented myself so cool
Yeah.
with my, well,
I
cut the
feel
long
you.
story short.
Yes.
That my baby was married to a soldier.
Soldier come, soldier go.
Okay, I come again, baby. I don't know if you want to try me. We can slow down.
Hey,
Well, along the line, I saw that this fine girl want to laugh with that guy.
temptation.
And today, the first way to my place.
Chapa.
I remember how bumping to my husband
Oh.
in the evening camo.
Kamu.
Talk about all the.
Hey. Yeah, so now they are piawaya.
I can't remember all the story because if I put the boy that is the give back with the patrol.
Hey, hi, sorry. Hi, keep me no sorry.
Well, I'll be back now. Well, I have to attend to some issues right now, so yeah.
Get there being a jacket me no.
Baby. Oh, you want to try me? You can slow down.
Oh, hey,
I have to go.
hey, hi. Piawazo.com. How do you go ahead? Well, look at Jack Mao. You know wait for me at the go.
Baby, I know those days you want to try me because slow down.
Hey, oh,
Baby, I know say you want to try me because calm down.
hey,
That was what I was thinking when I saw this dancer yesterday.
Okay.
Well, I saw her, she fine, well, I had to walk up and introduce myself. Well, she sounded so interested.
well,
When I asked for her number, she gave me. Well, she was, giving me the green light. Well, all these things happen for my head. Okay.
okay, boy.
Well, I don't know if you want to try me because all that.
Hey, oh,
Baby, I don't know if you want to try me because to hold it down. You know what I'm saying?
of course.
Well, the one day to go when the move I bought the number, well, she was like, yeah, I was waiting for your call, why, why you delayed to call me? Well,
Shakara. Shakara.
I had to go and try to present myself cool.
Yes.
Try to make the girl feel cool. I can remember when I tried to play like the guy get money for pocket.
Cha.
I can remember see I don't get shit.
Oh.
All I had was my pretty fine face.
Oh.
Well, all the good girl I do well.
Hey. They want
Well,
to
they treat on the good. I say again, baby. No, see, you want to try me because slow down.
Hey, oh, hey, oh,
Baby. I don't know, see, you want to try the boy because come around.
hey, I know why go.
With the help of my guy, I hired some jigger, just the roll by her feet, then I saw my baby.
Asa.
Okay. I pulled them on the other side. Baby, slow down. That's the hang boy. That's the dude you were looking for.
Oh.
Well, I presented myself so cool
Yeah.
with my, well,
I
cut the
feel
long
you.
story short.
Yes.
That my baby was married to a soldier.
Soldier come, soldier go.
Okay. I come again, baby. I don't know if you want to try me. We can slow down.
Hey,
Well, along
presentation.
Today, the first way to my place.
Chapa.
I remember how bumping to my husband.
Oh.
The evening camo.
Camo.
Talk about all the.
Hey. Yeah, so and they are Piawaya.
I can't remember all the story because if I put the boy that is the give back to the
Hey, hi, sorry. Hi, Kipino, sorry.
Well, I'll be back now. Well,
What did I miss? I don't think I missed anything. I don't think I missed anything. What did I miss?
Baby, I know those days you want to try me, people fall down.
Hey, oh,
baby, I know those days you want to try me, people calm down.
Hey,
That was what I was thinking when I saw this down sale yesterday.
Okay.
Well, as soon as she found, well, I had to walk up and introduce myself. Well, she sounded so interested.
Well,
when I asked for her number, she gave me. Well, she was, giving me the green light. Well, all these things happen for my head. Okay.
Lord.
Well, I know those things you want to try me because all that.
Hey, oh,
Baby.
What did I miss? I missed nothing. Nothing was missed here. So DXY is giving up. I don't know how serious this is, but it looks like DXY wants to give up on us. Looks like DXY wants to give up on us. That will trickle down to the major pairs kind of getting some breathing space. And I think I pointed out there was this gap here, and that was the gap that you can see price reacted from, and right now price is testing our 100 EMA again. I think, in my opinion, that news, remember the news that came in that dropped that big red candle there before they bought it back up. I think this price is not going back down there. All right, remember, nothing is casted on concrete or on stone, as the case may be. But what I'm just trying to make you understand is everything is on what higher probability. So the probability that we'll see price coming back down there again is somewhat low. All right. Reason is that I think price has done the damage it's going to do. All right, by coming down there to stop everybody out. Okay. So I think the best thing now is for price to buy on DXY. But you can see some level of weakness coming in here. As a matter of fact, let me even go here. Let me see if I would. The confirmation is not yet in, so I don't want to start jumping on it carelessly. So the only issue I have is the confirmation we waited for is not in yet, and the ripple effects of that is that the price has been ranging, but in this range now, like I said, news came in, took out all the stop loss we initially had. The ideal thing is for price to go up. That's the most ideal thing I expect, but you can see that's not the case. DXY is getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So we can't do anything about that. Remember, like I always tell you guys, we don't have control over what price is doing, rather we have control over what we are doing. So the only thing we can do now is, if I'm being honest, because already my live stream is already lengthy, so me trying to make it shorter now is, I don't know. But if I'm to give you guys an opinion of what I think, my own personal opinion of what I think on this price going forward, and what I expect will be for this 100 EMA to hold this price, then for them to continue going up. That's my opinion of what I think price needs to do, right? But with that said, I'm not a wizard, so it's not like I'm not God Almighty that anything I say is what's going to happen, right? But if it's based on higher probability, I think that's something that we can arguably point at. Okay. I'm tempted to open another position, but I'm just trying to hold myself, and the reason why I'm holding myself is that there's no confirmation yet. In all the charts we have here, no confirmation yet. Not even in DXY, not in Euro USD, not in British Pound USD, not in Aussie Dollar USD, not in New Zealand Dollar USD. Which other one we have here? Not even the Canadian Dollar USD. Not even on gold. Same thing, not even on USD JPY. So all the currency pair we have in our watch list, none of them is yet to confirm any entry, any entry move. All right, none. So it means we have to wait a little bit more. And remember, like I always tell you guys, in the process of waiting, if price once it's 5:30, all right. As a matter of fact, once it's 5:15, sorry, what am I saying? 3:15. I'm referring to West African time now, right? Once it's 3:15, 3:30, if we don't get that breakout we are looking for, then we will not engage. All right, we will not engage. We will just sit on the sidewalk and try again tomorrow. All right. So we have like less than an hour to go. DXY is not looking good, to be honest. This price is dry. It's dry. If I'm being honest, it's dry. With the whole news that came in, everything, I felt they would have used that momentum of that news and give us something nice. But you can see the market is bent on giving sideways movement since morning. Since morning it has been going sideways. So it's dry, it's boring, it's not fun. It's a total waste of time for us to just sit here and be rigmaroling up and down. So what I'm going to do is quite simple, and that's why I said if you are not yet in the Discord channel, just make sure you join. The link is in the chat section. So what I want to do right now is I want to close the stream. Then I'll be updating the guys on the Discord on further decisions on today's price action. All right. If you took the Canadian dollar trade with me, I hope you did not. Remember I told you guys it wasn't a good entry. I only took it because I was just being silly. All right, and I just wanted to risk $8.44. It wasn't my main entry, right? And I think I said that. So if you took that with me, brace yourself for the stop loss is about to be hit. Alright, I'm going to remove this joint now because DXY is just disappointingly selling off. Very, very disappointingly selling off. The ideal thing we wanted was for them to come above, but you can see they kept on still trading back down. We don't want to be trading in such market condition because now price is misaligning itself to our story. All right, remember we had a story and we need price to align itself to the story, not us aligning our story to the price. All right, because if you do that, if you align your story to price, then price will deal with you, because price likes to maneuver, likes to manipulate, and you will be a victim of radical manipulation. All right, so it's good to have a story, then you wait for price to align itself to your story. Then with that way, you are in a more higher probable achieving a higher probable outcome. All right, so we have 5 minutes remaining for this particular candle to completely close. Maybe we can spend that 5 minutes waiting for it, but once this candle completely close, maybe we can bring the live stream to a close. And like I said, I'll be updating the guys on the Discord on any further move or entries that we will take, if any. All right, and for the guys that have not subscribed, just subscribe. We do this every day, Monday to Friday. Today is very dry. It's not always like this, but today is just dry. The market has been ranging, and it's not fun. It's not fun. All right. With that said, guys, I need to bring the stream to a close, and appreciate each and every one of you that joined. I see a couple of people that are still currently joining live. If you're joining live and you are part of my Discord that is joining live, let me know so that I don't close the stream on a new user that wants to learn. Alright, but I think majority of the people that have been joining live are also coming from my Discord. But like I said, if you've not joined the Discord and you're currently joining live, maybe by watching this video live, or maybe you're coming across this video after the live streaming section, do well to use the link in the chat section to join on the Discord channel. With that, I say bye bye to each and everyone that joined. It was quite unfortunate. I thought news was going to make the price fun, but it wasn't fun, and it was a ranging market. But with that, I say bye bye to you guys, and I really appreciate each and every one of you that made it possible to join the afternoon section. And we're hoping to do this again tomorrow, same place, same time. For now, bye bye, and have a wonderful rest of the day.